Hello everybody, welcome. As you well know, I'm on the search for the ideal OS or the combination of OSs to drive my daily life. And I need something that doesn't throw me too many notifications, that's a distraction-free environment, but also offers some of the functionality for a modern life. Ideally, I get a unified device, but I'm open to, for example, have an OS as a desktop OS and another one for the phone. I got the Cosmo Communicator because Planet Computers promised everything for this phone, that you would get the option to run applications in a window and you could drag them around and connect them to the monitor, right? But all you get really is a mirrored experience, which means that I'm really wasting my 24-inch monitor here with this Android interface. Moreover, because of the deal between Google and the companies making phones, you have to keep the Google bar on the top. So even though I degoogled the phone, on this bar does absolutely nothing. As you can see, I'm clicking here, it doesn't do anything, but I also cannot get rid of it when I'm customizing the screen. It's just hard-coded stuck there. Another problem is that naturally the applications don't scale very well, right? So you get here Wikipedia and everything looks very big. And if I am to close an application, right, I have to drag it fast with the mouse, and it's super annoying. So of course I can do clear all, and Alt Tab works, right? Most of the keyboard shortcuts work. It's like Ctrl U, Ctrl C, Ctrl V, but it's not great, yeah? So for example, if I open here OSM for maps, right? You can see the interface is highly optimized for the mobile interface, and you don't get much option of multitasking. Side by side is also limited by Android, yeah, so it is not super convenient. So let's go to Brave here, and let's see if I just drag this. I click here, then you drag this to the, oh, I need to open a second program. So let's see, I will open, let's assume I'm reading some article about coding, right? And then I want to write the code. So I can go to Termux and I can put them somehow side by side. It works on the screen. I just cannot do it with the mouse, but you get the idea, right? Let's see if I can do this here. Yeah. So I drag this here, and ta-da, we have split screen. I had to touch the device to do it, right? So the keyboard and mouse was not a very good experience. So I'm gonna say that as a desktop OS, I managed to get work done. You get Git, for example, right? You get VI, but you don't get things like OpenOffice or LibreOffice, for example, right? So there is no good Office package with spreadsheet, or I couldn't find something good enough, yeah. It's not good. It works, like if you need to get some work done quickly in a train, for example, I've used it. The Cosmo has a great keyboard. I could get something done very quickly. Of course, you are running Android, so you can send emails and so on. But overall, it was a very disappointing experience and not practical at all. So for example here, yeah, I cannot use the keyboard to scroll down. I need to use the mouse. It's just not good. So the interface is really gonna get a 3 out of 10. In terms of usability, Android is lacking things that we take for granted in a desktop OS. It just doesn't work. You can do something in a train, for example, in a plane, edit a document very quickly with Termux or with a basic notepad and send it to your boss or publish it using Git. but you are missing things like right click, for example. You have to tap and hold, and when you have it connected to a screen, this is very annoying. I just demonstrated before that it's also very hard to put applications on side without having to touch the screen. Also, there's no way to do mirroring, or I couldn't find it, right? So it's not like I could have my work chat, Skype, for example, on the phone and work on the screen, right, on the external screen. So usability as a desktop OS, as a daily driver, unless you do everything with your fingers and don't input too much data into the system, is just basically zero. I'm gonna give it a 0 out of 10. Performance is great, right? This is a phone with software optimized for the hardware. The manufacturer of the SoCs usually put a lot of effort having the drivers quite decent, so almost everything opens instantly, right? So if I click in Brave here, I have it, right? Let's take something that I didn't open recently. Let's go to New Pipe. I have it. Let's see, something heavier. Let's go for a game, Super Tux Kart. So this scrolls really weird. You see, like I was talking about usability, it scrolls not smoothly, but as the letters pass, it's really touch optimized. It's not good. So a heavier game like Super Tux Kart, yeah. So my phone is not the fastest in the world, and still, as you can see, let's have a look here on the race, right? So I have a mixed experience here. Some tracks are faster than others, but it is never too bad. Yeah, as you can see, you have the frame rate counter on the top, and I cannot. Aha. I don't know the controls. Let's go to options here real quick. Interface. Controls. So keyboard. I set it up so I could use the Cosmos. So I have WD up and down. Okay. Let's go back. So you have a look on performance. This is a simpler track, so it's probably gonna hold 30 FPS or 60 FPS, and you can easily see on the top there the number of triangles, and as the number of triangles gets higher, the performance will fail. However, you need to remember that it's also very performance dependent, and the Cosmo, even when it was freshly released, it was not a gaming powerhouse, right? It has 6 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of storage, which is great, especially compared to the Purism, for example, that I'm testing now. But it's not one of these Android phones that will give you a gaming performance and has an external fan and etc. Yeah. But as you can see, I quit the program. I'm back to the main screen. I open another application. It is done. If I go back to New Pipe, it's instant. So it's really not gonna let you wait. Yeah. So performance is really 10 out of 10, and I wish every single operating system would work as fast. And we know that Android is inefficient. People say, oh, it's running applications that are Java, iOS uses less RAM, and so on. But guys, everything is instant. Let's talk a little bit about compatibility. You get support for plenty of USB devices, right? So keyboards will work out of the box, mice. I got my printer working here as well. Let me show you. You get the Lexmark application, right? And it works fine. Also, if I go to Lemuroid as emulator, you see that the performance of the emulator is splendid. Again, I get these horrible touch controls, but it's Mario in all its glory, and it looks truly beautiful. Yeah. So really, you get everything you get on Android phone. You are lacking a few professional tools, as I mentioned, right? So it will not replace a desktop computer. Like, I don't know how, for example, you would edit advanced videos in Android, right? There's probably something like iMovie for Android. I haven't explored the possibility, but you will not get advanced tooling, right? I also tried my memory card reader to copy stuff from my SD, from my D850, and it works fine. So I'm gonna give it really a 7 out of 10 for the little bit that it's missing. Guys, let's talk a little bit about software. So I'm gonna show you what I have on my phone that allowed me to be able to use it as a daily driver. For work, I get Git and I get Vim. And I'm dealing with cloud software, so I have enough here to log in via SSH somewhere else, edit code remotely or even locally, and push via Git. So I really can work from anywhere. I can control AWS or Azure environments, no problem, right? So if your job is to deal with computers, you can use this. Let's say I got rid of the whole Google thing, so I'm using open source no tracking gallery application, right? It seems okay. I got OpenStreetMaps. It works fine for navigation. Sometimes it will take you through the longest road instead of taking highways. You need to be careful, but you get to do all your navigation without data, turn-by-turn commands, and so on. NewPipe does the job of being a good performance, lightweight, no ads YouTube player, right? It works without any issues. Let's see what else we've got. I get Tor browser when I need to navigate the web fully privately, and I get also Brave and Firefox Focus depending on the use. Nextcloud nodes, tasks are all synchronized to my own personal server, so again, no tracking, nothing. I have ACCA here, and that will help me keep my battery in good shape, so it will charge only to 70% and back down. Let's see, add a way to block ads. AirGuard I haven't tried it yet, but in theory it will tell you if there is some this Apple tracking thing if you lose your stuff. I forgot the name. Anyway, if you have one of them stuck to you, meaning that you have the same Bluetooth device following you all the time, then AirGuard should be able to tell you. AirMail is an email solution by Planet Computers. I like it a lot, so the interface is very nice. App bar is this menu here on the bottom. And it's very easy to reach because you get to access it using the Android key, not the Android key, the Planet key on the keyboard. The camera application is standard issue. See Elgato to control my how's it called, this key light, the Elgato key light. You can configure the cover display of the Cosmo, right? My Bank smart key there. F-Droid store, right? So more than one file manager. There's an option to find your own device to be able to send an SMS and then get a message back from the phone with its location, right? I haven't tried it because I didn't lose my phone, but it should work. Let's see. There's Geekbench, applications for GPS and hiking, console emulators. Keep It Up is quite cool. I use it to monitor my devices. What else do you get? I think FM radio on my phone doesn't support. Software for the printer, SMS, PayPal is here, OpenVPN is here, PDF viewer, some application to customize my scooter that is hacked, so I can here adjust the setting speed, battery configuration, monitor temperature, and so on. What else? A QR scanner, right? So I can quickly point the camera to a QR code and get the link. A VNC viewer, so I can connect to servers and so on. It works pretty fine, especially if I'm using the keyboard and mouse. Let's see what else I can show you here. See, I cannot click here and scroll down. It will keep scrolling me up. It's really not optimized to be used with a monitor. Sky Map is pretty cool. So you get, if you're trying to take photos, you can see what you're looking at. Right. Unciv is a pretty cool civilization clone. It works, does the job. It's quite pretty and the performance is excellent. I like it. And as you can see, the interface elements are quite small, so it looks quite fine on the computer. No right-click support, everything is the same click, including the middle mouse button. And to zoom out, I need to use the phone, which is pure misery. So yeah, I mean, I made my point clear. Software is there. Gaming. I've already spoken about games during this video, right? You get mobile games and emulators, basically. If you like old games like I do, and if you think that a lot of the new games are complete garbage, then you will appreciate the gaming experience here. You have options, but I'm not sure if the market has very high quality Android games like AAA equivalent level, but it's fun, you get to play. It's a 7 out of 10. I don't have the technical expertise to comment deeply on Android security. I know that it has SE Linux by default, and they try to lock it down as much as Apple does. But, well, I try to install only applications from F-Droid, with very rare exceptions from our store, such as bank application. But if these applications are doing what they tell me they do, I try to run a Wireshark in every device I get to see if it's leaking data or not. And my setup here with Micro G seems fine. At this day and age, if someone wants to hack you, and if they have enough money, they will find a way, yeah. I will give it a 7 out of 10, because it's quite locked out of the box, and security then goes down depending on what you install, what kind of applications you install, and your privacy settings and so on. So basically, a 10 out of 10 would be a device that is foolproof, and Android is not it. Privacy. Out of the box, in my opinion, Android gets a 0 out of 10. it will ping your location to Google and to every other web page that asks for it. And I think if we quickly run here the privacy check from Google in the standard browser, if I can find it, it will get a very low score. Where is it? So let's check the Android browser. See? Why does it want my device location? Get out. You cannot use the browser without. So the standard stock Android browser will not run without location. This is just unbelievable. Let's have a look in Firefox, for example, and see how it scores on the Mozilla privacy test. Actually, let's take standard Firefox, just for the sake of the argument. Do I have it here? Yes, I do. Okay, what's happening here? Do I have to rotate the screen? Oh, you must be kidding me. Yeah, so now I'm connected to the monitor and the image is rotated. It's completely stupid. Mozilla privacy test. I forgot the page. Let's have a look. Now I can undo this. Yeah, all right. You can see my struggle to navigate the interface, yeah. No, that's not Mozilla Cover Your Tracks, EFF. Let's check this out. Let's see how well we're gonna score. That's not good. No, I'm on 4G because I have a lot of this blocked on my firewall, but I'm not on Wi-Fi, so it should be good. Okay, I'm scrolling using the keyboard because using the mouse is pure misery. Guys, I was suffering to go through this. I don't know what is wrong with me, why I do this kind of thing. Okay, so my browser has a unique fingerprint, yeah, and it is trying to block trackers, and I'm quite sure that if you just get Google Chrome or the standard stock Android browser, you're not gonna have the same success. But based on the initial experience with the inbox browser that will just exit if you don't allow it to get location, then I'm really giving it a 0. This is completely pathetic. The boot speed is fine. It takes 30 or 40 seconds to boot up. It is a bit more than my last iOS device, but if you consider the fact that you restart once in weeks, it's not a problem at all. So I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10. I think that's it for now. Android is definitely not gonna be my daily driver, and I am sadly going to sell my Cosmo communicator. I'll see you next time.